Don't want to give money to the oligarchs, but love lobbing Scorchers? Do we have a deal for you? MLS Season Pass is back on Apple TV with access to every single MLS match, including Leagues Cup and the entire Audi MLS Cup playoffs with no blackouts. It's not just the games, you get total access to the pre- and post-match MLS 360 whip-around show in both English and Spanish, and get live look-ins and highlights from around the league, as well as full match replays and recaps. Now, you can support our show by visiting lobbingscorchers.com/Apple TV to purchase your subscription and support our show.
Lobbingscorchers.com/Apple TV. Please, don't let the oligarchs win.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another post-game live. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, I had this scheduled for 10, but decided to send it a little earlier. We got a 1-1 draw for the Seattle Sounders at San Jose. They get a point on the road. Albert Rusnak with the second half equalizer. So the Seattle Sounders, before we went into this game, I said my hope for this game was that they would score one goal and maybe two goals. And so they didn't fulfill the second part of that hope, but they did get the first. They did score a goal. They got shut out in the first half again. So they were going on two and a half games with no goal. Would have been 3 straight scoreless. They hadn't managed to get one, but they got one. It was a really good goal by Albert Rusnak. Great finish, clutch finish to rescue the point there. And really, people are talking about XG merchants in the chat, and it was an XG merchant type of game. I think Noah just texted me that they got like close to 3 XG, which I don't know what the sourcing was on that, but anything above 2. You were cooking by the XG standard. So I thought, like, really honestly, the second half, I thought the attack looked pretty good. Jesus Ferreira was starting at the 9, and that did not look good in the first half. They took JP out, put Moose at the 9 to start the second half. And I don't know about you guys, but I honestly thought Ferreira, like, after that switched, immediately looked better. Still wasn't amazing, but I thought he had way more kind of good, dangerous moments in the second half, certainly than the first. I thought the first, it looked pretty much like it has been looking the last couple games, which is to say not great. I thought he got going a little bit in the second half. He had some nice dimes. There were some good sequences of play that he had. So I thought that was improved, but also it improved when he wasn't playing the 9. So, but I think just in general, the whole attack looked a lot better in the second half. I thought Paul Rothrock looked really good all night, and I thought this was good games from both Rothrock and Georgie. I thought Georgie was great after he came on. So definitely not the greatest result of all time. I don't think that Quakes team looked that great. But I think it was important psychologically for the team, but also for me personally, for them to score one. So it's at least, I feel like that's at least something to build on. Getting the equalizers, not the greatest result, but it's something to build on. You got a goal. And I thought it was an improved attacking performance on the whole. Maybe not as much in the first half, but in the second half, I thought it looked pretty good. Got a super chat here from Zippy Tuna, $2. And he says, Albert Rusnak. Yeah. Yep. That's right. Not clutch, not a DP. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna sit here and dunk on the brigade. I'm gonna take the high road. It is funny though. Sounder Naves replied to one of Noah's tweets, and he said, "No one has ever lived in somebody's head as much as the brigade lives in the head of Lobbing Scorchers," which he because Noah was talking about, like, "Ooh, where are the haters at? And we've been getting a little bit of that even from like people outside the brigade, because it was funny. I did a couple podcasts ago where I went through and listed off all his clutch goals and game winners, of which there are many, and it was a pretty unpopular bit pretty unpopular segment, honestly. And people had their reasons for that, but I'll tell you the real reason that people didn't like that bit. I'll tell you why. It's not for any of the reasons that they're talking about. The reason people didn't like that is because for a lot of people, the talking point that like he scores some goals or gets some stats, but they're not clutch or they're like not in big games. That was talking point was like considered a gospel thing. And me going through and listing out all the instances where he did exactly that proved that talking point is not true. And so that upset people. It upset people. But like I said, not for the reasons that they're saying. And yeah, Noah does play it up. It also is, you know, you guys ever heard of a thing called engagement? You know, we got to, that matters too. But anyway, I'm going to drop the link to join in chat. I wanted to take some calls if anyone wants to hop on tonight. And this is a situation where I'm kind of running my my shift at MLS shift at the same time. So those are kind of difficult. So people jumping on would actually kind of help me is what I'm saying. So I'm going to drop the link in chat right now. If you want to call in and dish your takes on this 1-1 draw at San Jose. Link in chat. Oh, whoops. I think I messed that up. I hit the plus sign. Don't do. Okay. All right. Delete. Going to try that one more time. There we go. Drop the link in chat right now. So if you want to call in, that link should put you in the lobby and give you the. I'll ask for the thumbs up and then get you in. Condition takes. For now, I'll just go through chat, see what you guys are talking about, and keep giving my own reaction. Joe says, "Can we talk about them gifting a goal again?" Yeah, that was that was unfortunate because I feel like that was against the run of play. I really liked. I know I said that the first half was kind of bad and the second half was a lot better, and I think that was kind of true. But I remember kind of liking what I was seeing in the first 15 to 20 minutes. Like I feel like I remember thinking like they kind of look like the home team right now. I thought they were a lot better in possession in the first half to start the game than they have been the last couple games. I thought they were keeping the ball really well, moving it around pretty well, and they had some good looking chances. It was just like XG merchant type of play, you know. So we got Derek Richards with the $3 super sticker. Derek, you're a maniac as always. Appreciate you. But yeah, that's why that goal was frustrating because I was I was like, you know, I didn't necessarily expect them to shut out the Quakes on the road, but I felt like the game was actually going pretty well at that point. You know, all things considered. And then they give up a really it's a shoot yourself in the foot type goal again. There is I think it was Alex had the giveaway in that's like if you never obviously want to give the ball away, but if you do give the ball away, you really you don't want to do it there. And he didn't need to. Like they had I don't think he was under pressure even. Like they had that ball controlled and that didn't it was pretty just it felt like a needless giveaway. And then, you know, whatever happens from there, I think the guy, it's like a rookie for the Quakes. I think that was his first MLS goal. And he hit a deflected shot and it looped over Stephen Fry and went in. So that was unfortunate, but you know, like I think the even more annoying thing for me was that it was going to lead to, again, like the exact same talking points that we had last year of like, okay, yeah, you gave up bad goal, but you can't score one. So that's honestly the bigger issue. If you could score a goal or two, those individual mistakes, if you make one a game in a given game, they're not going to cost you if you're being productive in attack. And last year at the beginning of the year for all those games, that was the story, was that they couldn't score. So those like the margin for error defensively was just like nothing. And this game kind of felt like that. And honestly, like even though they did get the goal, and I think I'm going to choose to be encouraged by the goal, but like it is an example of if you don't if the game played out the exact same and you get the goal, you could have won that game if you don't have a shoot yourself in the foot type moment like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Overall, I thought it was I thought there was a decent amount of good ball played. So I'm glad they at least got rewarded with one goal for it, because I thought it wasn't like a game where the attack was like totally worthless and then they got a goal out of nothing. Like, I thought they played well enough to merit a goal. So Goose is Loose says, Jesus kept the play alive on the goal and laid off a great pass to Roldan. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. He did do that, and I think he deserves credit for that people probably weren't going to give him. So I'm glad you brought that up, because he played a role in the sequence that led to the goal. And again, I mean, we can talk about Jesus Ferreira more. My take again is that when he was playing the 9 in the first half, it just still, I don't know if I mean, maybe they just need to run it more. We'll see. But that just hasn't been looking that hot. And again, and like I said, once they made that change at half, I thought the whole team looked better, and I thought he looked better in particular. He had this one dime to Alex Roldan. I don't know if anyone's going to remember what I'm talking about, but it was like a diagonal. It was nice. It was it's kind of, even though he did look better, it's still like, did they really bring this guy in to be like the right mid like this? It feels like he's out of place still, but I thought he did a lot. He did a lot more good stuff in that one half playing out there with Moose at the 9 that he has over the last 2 games at the 9. So $5 super chat from Stick and Wiggle. Thank you very much. Ari, I need you to know that San Jose's CB Daniel Mooney looks like you. Okay. I'm gonna choose to take that as a compliment, because I can't remember what Daniel Mooney looks like, and I'll look him up though. Jesus at the 9 reminds me of the games where Raul played poorly, dropped way too far back, and got lost, ghosted, as they like to say. It's funny, yeah, it's funny you say that, because that exact same thought kind of went through my head during the game, which is that, like, maybe not that specific, but like this is the exact same situation as last year. You have De La Vega injured, and then ineffective number 9. That's basically what happened the first 2-3 months of last season as well, and it looked like it was happening again. But I'm just happy that Rusnak salvaged some semblance of vibes. Like, I think the vibes would have been absolutely horrendous if they got shut out by the Quakes and lost that 1-0. And I don't know about you guys. Maybe other people are still crashing out, but that goal gave me a little bit of juice. I was like, okay, all right. Like, they were XG merchanting for most of the game, but they got a goal, and it was a really nice goal. That is the type of goal that you pay your GPs to score. You know, when you're undermanned, your starting striker is hurt, your other DP attacker is hurt, goals are at a premium. That I said that going into this game, is that, like, this is a game where, like, Rusnak and Ferreira, like, need to step up. And I don't know, in my head, like, counting on Ferreira right now, it just feels like his integration is not there yet, clearly, at least for playing the 9. So got another $2 super chat from Zippy Tuna. That goal and laughing at the LA teams will do. Yeah. That's is that game over yet? I'm yeah, so San Diego FC, they beat LAFC 3-2. That's pretty awesome. That is funny. No callers. Apparently no one wants to call in tonight. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat again. And you guys, does no one really want to dish some takes? No one wants to dish some takes? Link in chat right now. Again, guys, I'm multitasking right now. So if anyone wants to hop on and dish some takes, I could use the help. Noah's gonna call in and dish. Thank you, Noah. Appreciate that. our turnover for their goal deserved to be punished, but that shot was lucky to go in. I think that's exactly accurate. It did deserve to be punished, but they got. I mean, it's a deflected goal. Like, I definitely. I don't think Jackson, to my memory, there's much he could have done there. Like, he was trying to block it. So okay, we got James calling in. Hell yeah, James. Except I don't see your video feed yet. Okay, there I see you. All right, James. Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right, I'm gonna add you to the stage right now. James, can you hear me?
Hey, thank you for having me. I didn't
Yeah,
want to be the
go ahead and
first,
dish. How are you feeling after this
nobody else
1-1
listens.
draw at San Jose?
It's all right. I mean, it certainly, I didn't expect to get a point out of it as we got closer to the end. So that, that's fine. But, the thing that I was thinking about was, as we were talking about this Kent transfer, I kept hearing people say, well, we're not going to spend like Atlanta. We're not going to spend like Cincinnati. That's fine. Can we not get a better right back? I mean, this is not the first time that we've had a calamitous Alex Roldan error that caused us problems. And we used to be able to find guys on free transfers, didn't cost any money. Leardam was free, Mears was free. That's a position that I thought we could upgrade for really very little money. So I don't know why that's not something that we're looking at. I mean, can we really not do better than Musovsky? I thought he had a heinous game.
Yeah.
It's so, I accept the reality that we're not going to be spending like Atlanta or even like 2016, 2018 Sounders. But I just think that there's so many places where we could be getting more out of the money that we are spending.
Yeah. The Alex one is, I mean, he's been a starter on this team for so long at this point, and it seems like he's a Schmetz guy. And I think there was a period of time where he was a pretty good starting right back in the league. He had a couple years ago where he was getting assists, and he and Christian have always had like a good thing on the when they played on the right side. I thought the chemistry for them for a long time was really good. But I mean, yeah, point taken. Like it was his error right in the playoff game last year that led to the goal. Kind of actually a pretty similar play tonight. But for me, like I always, when the defense gives up one goal, but you can only score one goal, I kind of look at the problem on the other end of the field. But that's just me.
I think that's fair. But, the other thing I would say to that is that, our offense hasn't been exactly cooking for the last couple of seasons. We've really leaned a lot in on the defense. And that's just, if we can get a Leardam quality player there, that's something we can clean those up, and maybe instead of a 1-1, it's a 1-0. I just think that there's a lot of places where with just a little bit more effort in the scouting department, we can take the limited resources that we all accept that we have and just do a little bit more.
What do you think of this? What's his name? Ryan Kent stuff, James. I'm curious of your take on that.
My heart leans towards Celtics, so in that sense, I'm not a fan of it, but I think I can let it go. I'm a little bit nervous about the record of falling out with previous clubs. It seems like he, threatened to down tools was the quote at Liverpool when he wanted to move to Rangers. A lot of Rangers fans were saying he was totally checked out at the end of his time there. And then obviously, whatever happened in Turkey. I worry that's going to be a problem. I think that Schmetz has got a lot on his plate right now, dealing with strong personalities, injuries, trying to make new formations work to account for the injuries. And I think throwing in a combustible player, I just think that's something Schmetzer probably doesn't need right now. I obviously hope for the best. I really don't know much about him. How quick do you think he's going to be ready? I don't think he's going to be able to go 90 for a couple months.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least I would imagine 1 month. But all right, I got Noah tapping in here, so I'm gonna bring him in. But thanks a lot for the call, James. Always good, always good talking to you, and good stuff. Appreciate it. All right, gonna bring Noah in right now. add you to the stage. There he is.
Whoa, an appearance for look. I got a mic stand too.
Oh, nice, dude.
I hit the Amazon because
moving up in the world. All right,
we got a couple super chats. So it was
take
like
the floor for a bit here because I have some things that I need to do real quick. But go ahead and just start with your take on this 1-1 draw at San Jose. How are you feeling?
yeah, it's a draw. That's fine. I don't care. Like that's kind of where I'm at. It's a road draw. It's a road point. A brutal first half, XG merchanting. I think something that you would hit on was Jesus Ferreira just being quite a non-factor, I think is probably a fair way to put
pretty
that.
much the same.
Yeah, like it's just tough. It's like it just sucks for him and it sucks for us to like continue to have to keep watching him like not feel comfortable. I don't know. Like I want him to play well and I want him to, be the superstar that I feel like he can be, but like honestly, I got to be honest, like he's done not. He looks terrible in the 9 position. He looked so much more comfortable out on the wing, which that sucks because we have wingers. We have too many wingers. Everyone's a winger on this team. I thought it was kind of funny that they brought Moose in. I was interested to see if they would slot Rothrock in at the 9 and then like have him and Ferreira play something together. I don't know.
Rothrock was the best player on the field for most of the game, and
agreed.
And basically, I actually found myself thinking they need to run the offense through Rothrock, and he was getting pissed at not getting fed enough out there, and he was right. Like he was the only one for a big stretch there making things happen. We got Disc Golfer calling in. We're gonna bring Disc Golfer to the stage right now. If you give me a thumbs up that you can hear me, all right, and bring him in. Disc Golfer, thanks for calling in, man. How are you feeling? 1-1 draw at San Jose. Albert Rusnak equalizer.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better than I did at halftime. That
there you go.
Second half, there was some stuff happening, which was nice.
Yeah.
No joke.
It just like they got the goal, and it felt like I was saying it wasn't like a goal out of nowhere. It was like they had been playing well. They had San Jose, I thought, under pressure pretty consistently. They were knocking the ball around in dangerous areas, combining well, rewarded with a goal. I thought it was a just goal.
I mean, look, man, I'm going to sound like Caleb Porter, but I thought the Sounders were the better team for a lot of this game, deserved the win. And it pains me to sound like Caleb Porter, but they looked all right tonight for given the injuries. I thought this is the best they've looked since Morris and De La Vega went down. I would
agree with that. Yeah. And I think that's a good show. I thought Georgie and Rothrock were both notably good.
Dude, Georgie is so much fun to watch. I just keep forgetting until he subs on. Also, I don't want to be hyperbolic, but Obed Vargas might be the best player on the planet. Some of those,
dude, I think we had a podcast titled that at one point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, of course, you guys beat me to it, but that's why you're the pros.
Yeah.
But
I think it was Obed Vargas is the greatest player alive.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm feeling not like great. It's a 1-1 draw against San Jose. I would have liked to see some more goals, but I'm feeling better than I have been.
Something to build on, right? That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, it's like
something to build on.
It's like the fact that it's getting better. There's like a little bit of hope. So, and I thought, man, bringing in Danny Musovski, he's got to finish some of those. But they just looked so much better moving him up top. He was stretching the field. He was taking up space, opening space for other players. Like,
I mean, I think that's the point of bringing him on, right? It's like, Jesus is just not occupying that space well. He's clashing with Rusnak. It's less about Danny Musovski being like that exclamation point and more him just like being able to kind of open a window. You're shutting a door to open a window, whatever the saying is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna get on him for not scoring, and understandably, he's a striker.
I mean, he should. That was
that's like fair. But I do think it. I think when they have him up there with Ferreira, like playing off him or out wide, it does run a lot better. He's not finishing the chances, but it's running better, and he's getting in spots to miss sitters. So. That.
And last thing, and then I'll go. But after some of the shots in this game, I think if you want someone making those dangerous runs, Nuhu up top. man, he
Oh,
had
there we go.
some
He actually
great
got
hits.
close to scoring a couple times.
Yeah,
Like,
he
yeah.
had those 2 shots in that one possession that were like they were on target, forced Daniel to make some saves. So that's
He
all I
made a
got.
really
New number 9, put in Bell. We're good. But
I mean, he's always juiced when he comes back from Cameroon. Like I swear, he goes there, plays for his national team, and then like he is juiced, man. He comes back ready to just like strike. I love it. I love it.
the opposite Raul.
Yeah, literally.
But cool. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
thank you.
appreciate you, Disc
Our
Golfer.
favorite
Great
caller,
as
Disc
always.
Golfer.
I'll appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. All right, that was all we had in the queue for now. So if anyone else wants to call in, no, I didn't see how to pin the link, so
I pinned it for you. Don't you worry.
pinned it. Okay,
Yeah.
link is thanks. Link is pinned in the chat. So if you want to come dish takes on this 1-1 draw, you can go ahead and hop on.
Thanks for the super sticker.
Nice.
By the way.
Sticker.
And,
Easer.
Easer probably. That sounds right. Like Weezer, but like Easer. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate the support.
And Rob, thank you for becoming a YouTube member as well. We have tons of new emotes. We added one new one, which is Jesus Ferreira with a halo above his head. So it's not the ghost version, but you can use it. So that's the new one.
Oh, okay. So I was just looking at the schedule, and it's San Diego FC on the road up next, and
Yeah.
they just won 3 goals on LAFC. So they're looking pretty good, man.
They have looked really good, man, and they've been looking good at home too. Like I'm not super.
It doesn't feel
stoked.
as fraudulent. Like, you know how St. Louis, it felt fraudulent like the whole time.
Yeah,
This feels like it could be not that.
it might be, but
It
I
might
mean,
be.
I
We
feel
don't
like
know.
everyone's always juiced for their first season, but I think they look good, man. They look good. They look good. It's not going to be an
I'm
easy
excited
road
for that
test.
game because they're like a fun, new, interesting team that's playing well. It'll be a good test. It's another road game. So yeah, I'm much more excited to watch that with them having scored a goal in this game than I would have been if they got shut out for a third straight game. You know, I know it's
Yeah.
just one goal, but to me, it felt like an important goal just for like morale.
Yeah,
Morale was low.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I think that this game sucked to watch it in the first half. To come away with a draw, like walking away 30 minutes removed from a final whistle, I feel fine with a draw. I don't know about you, Ari.
Well, in MLS, I'm typically there are very few road games where I go in like this should be no question about it, dub. Like MLS road draws are typically a good thing. I think the reason you could have argued that this road draw here might not have been as good was morale, but also like the San Jose team doesn't look particularly good. But for me, when I look at like the totality of the circumstances, the injuries, and just the overall kind of downturn in vibes going into this game, I felt like a draw would have been cool with me going into this game and coming out of it, especially like playing pretty well in attack in the second half and getting a nice Rusnak goal. I feel, fine.
I think
is how you said I feel fine. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, salvaging. I think the biggest thing for me was seeing them overcome that 1-0 just like shitty, unlucky goal again. I think Brian Schmetzer described it as being snake bit. Like you got to be able to get, you got to be able to come back from that. And I thought that they did, and I thought
resilience,
yeah, and honestly, like to see them, I don't know, just to see them perform well with a new wrinkle coming out of half, that gives me hope that maybe Brian's gonna finally give up on Jesus Ferreira at the 9, but maybe not.
I don't like. I don't know if they should give up on it yet because it's like.
But look how much better he looked on the wing. Like I don't think
I
this
would
is
keep
a
drilling it
time
in
where you
training,
need to-
see how it looks, and if you see something that makes it seem like it could be effective, don't necessarily fully abandon it because it takes sometimes it's going to take more than 3 games for someone to like acclimate. Like,
yeah,
I'm not ready to totally throw it out yet, but it looks like we got caller named Noah.
2 Noahs
in
on
the
one
audio. All
string.
right, we're gonna
It's
bring
over.
on
It's over
another
for us.
Noah.
We're gonna melt
Noah,
down, dude.
can you give me a thumbs up to let us know you can hear? Okay, you can hear us. I'm gonna bring Noah to the stage right
Huge.
now. Noah, talk to us. How are you feeling after this 1-1 draw at San Jose?
Well, a draw's a draw. Was expecting us to not drop for what, like the third or fourth game this season, a defensive fumble. Sucks that it was rolled on, but we ball. He's a Schmetzer guy, like you were saying, Ari. Don't feel super bad about it, but wish we could have gotten the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, didn't it feel just like a psychological morale necessity to at least get 1 goal in this game? And I think like I would have taken it any which way, but like having it come in the context of good like sustained pressure that they were putting San Jose under, and then it really like that was a sick finish. Like I don't think we can be accused of glazing to say that was very,
I don't care if we get
well
accused of
taken
it. It's fine with me.
Yeah.
Tracks over here. One of the big things was the Nuhu shots. Well, there were 3. There were the 2 big ones back to back that really stuck out. But it was nice to see him come back from international and try some shots from distance like that.
Yeah, I appreciate his eagerness. I don't think he was amazing in this match, but I thought that it was. I mean, if I'm gonna get an insane crash out Nuhu game, I want it to also include the positive going forward. Like I feel like that's his classic match. He's like, I'm gonna play erratic on defense, but I'm also maybe gonna score a banger. I don't know. Like I'll take it. Whatever.
It's a toss-up. You get one every 6 years or so. If we hold on to him for as long as we have so far, you might get a second eventually.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I was with Mark Kastner, number 1 Nuhu hater in the entire planet when he scored against Houston. I happened to be at his house sitting next to him. So that's one of my favorite moments of all time. And like I feel like, monkey's paw curls, we're only gonna get 3, total in his career here. So we gotta get some more.
I missed that game where he scored. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Noah.
Oh no, I was just jumping in with a riff. World Cup goal,
Club World Cup game winner against who PSG, I guess is who it would be. Like I'm here
he
for
got
it.
one for Cameroon, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he does have one for Cameroon. We can fact check that. But honestly, even if it's not true, it's true in my heart.
Noah, how are you feeling about not you, Noah, the other Noah? How are you feeling about Ryan Kent? We're asking our callers the take on this prospective new addition.
Pretty good. I mean, I feel similar to how I feel about like Jesus Ferreira. I played a lot of it's not FIFA anymore, but it's like the FC game with both of them. And I was like, wait, is this the Apple TV Plus Ted Lasso guy? No, this is just another guy with like basically the same name. I'm excited to see him. I mean, he looks exciting. Seen the film of it. Curious to know what it's going to be like once he gets into the Emerald City. Well, he's here, but actually in the mix and training to see how he kind of gels with the club and with Schmetzer's play. But I mean, we obviously need him with Areola gone, so I'm all for it.
What do you think of having a guy with pet crocodiles on the team?
It's very interesting, right? Like of all the animals someone of that caliber could get, a crocodile is that's out there for sure. But a nice bit of eccentric pet ownership for the Emerald City.
We
were talking crocodiles while you were gone. No, any updated crocodiles?
I heard it in the headset. I was locked in on that. That's I've said it before, but like we will be going to the zoo together. I don't care. Like he's gonna give me all of the animal facts. We're gonna become best friends.
It must Woodland Park Zoo or like Point Defiance. Do they have it? I'm trying to think of.
Well, we looked up the one zoo. I think it was Woodland Park Zoo. They retired their crocodiles.
They used to have them, but I don't think they do right now.
I think they euthanized them. So I think we might be on a croc hunt.
No,
not like we're gonna hunt his crocodiles, but like we're gonna you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good qualifier at least.
Yeah.
were there other agendas that y'all were holding on to that have not been touched on yet?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I have to think about that for a second. I know I had some during the game.
I didn't get to listen. I didn't get to defend Alex Roldan yet, so I want to hear your
Okay.
your Alex
Oh,
Roldan take.
Good talking point.
To to other
Oh,
Noah?
were you
or
gonna
to
do
other-
it?
To other Noah, go other Noah, because we
Oh.
can have Noah backup. Whatever you say, I'm just gonna co-sign it.
Got it.
Huge. That's where the double name comes into play.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, both him and his brother have been, mainstays of this roster for how long now? And I mean, Yamar gave up that unfortunate equalizer a couple games ago. Reagan did the same thing. Like, we've been having, problems with our back line and giving up like stupid equalizers or things that we have to dig out of and get an equalizer late in the game like we did today. But I don't know. I saw the other caller had some like thoughts on Roldan in the right back position, and I think he's fine. I mean, depending on what formation we're playing with or like how we're playing ball, I think he's adequate at least for now. But it'd be nice to see us. Do you think Reed Baker Whiting's better at the left or right position? Because I was just wondering, once he gets healthy, if we could slot him in there or something.
I think he's a left-sided player, like by trade. I think like he's left-footed, but he can play inverted like pretty well. But I think left is his best. I'm pretty sure that's right, unless I'm tripping.
That seems right to me. Yeah.
Feels right.
Which he hasn't RBW hasn't got talked about much recently because he's been out injured, but I think that could be a
RBW
really handy
podcast.
addition to have back for some of the stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, I'll defend my boy Alex Roldan, because I literally posted, I said Alex Roldan is a very good player, and then immediately 5 minutes later, he makes a mistake.
So the
So
goal is your fault.
yeah, it's commentator's curse for sure. But
True.
I don't know. He has a great header on goal, and just that the way that he was able to find that space off that Rothrock cross, which
That would've
again,
been a nice
Rothrock
goal.
had a monster game, man. But
Mhm.
like he put that ball in, and Roldan was able to just like find that space, follow through, get that header on target. And like I know he doesn't score very often. He has like 9 or 10 goals in his career, but I got to be honest, like we talk about it all the time. Defenders are judged off their worst moment often. Like if you give up a bad pass, like okay, you're bad this week, but let's pretend that none of this other positive stuff happened. And I just think, I don't know. I think he had a great match. So
I thought the
that's my
defense
take.
was.
I think
I thought the defense was good.
in spite of
I thought it
that,
was
he
fine.
played well.
Yeah.
Like the defense overall, you had the one concession, but like I was saying earlier, it was it felt like it was going to be the story of like they didn't score, so yeah, the one concession does you in, and if you could score more, it wouldn't do you in. But luckily they got one back.
Yeah, very true. I mean, I was crashing out in what was it, the 30-something minute? I was like, that's the worst way to give up a goal, in the first half. And was thinking it was going to be 2024 all over again. We weren't going to press forward effectively. We were going to just like, hold the ball in their third, but not really do anything with like any urgency or take any shots. But we had 20-something shots. It's XG merchant hours, but
3 XG.
I thought the eye test kind of matched up with that, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if I would have said 3, but if you told me 2, I would have been like, yeah, that pretty much felt right. Like, which
No,
is
I think 3. I don't
frustrating
believe
for
in
a game where you
XG.
only
But
score 1.
I don't believe in XG, but you put someone with maybe just like if Jordan Morris is playing instead of Musovski,
Right?
you don't think that he doesn't bury those? Like I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. But
you get another goal in that game where you're XGing so hot are way higher if you have your starting striker in this scenario.
Yeah, or any other striker,
That wasn't
or
Lucas.
anyone. Or me, just put my dead corpse in front of goal, and I don't know.
Yeah, you could weekend at Bernie's at least, a Manungu cross in. Someone just has to push you up, and then you get it's got to be on target, but it's likely going in.
A drunk
Well,
Clint Dempsey with sunglasses on, wheel him on with just like a wheelchair, and he scores that.
we got no one in the queue right now, so Noah, you're welcome to fire a couple more takes here, and if anyone else wants to hop on and drop some takes with us on this San Jose draw, link is pinned in the chat. You can go ahead and hop in the lobby, and we'll get you on here. But until then, it's the Noah show. I'm outnumbered by Noah's right now.
I was gonna say,
get wrecked, buddy.
It's a contingent of Noahs. That's a unique thing. I know there's already been like a lot of Jesus for discourse, but
Yeah, give us your take on that.
Yeah, we're like a month or so away, depending on how long the Schmetzer injury timeline for JMO is actually accurate, and then De La Vega, 2-3 weeks out, a little bit earlier. I mean, I think 3 games, that's a good deal of time to see how he fits at the 9, but like has been already mentioned, as soon as we got, even though Moose was ineffective, as soon as we had someone that he could play into, and play off of with Albert and the wingers, I thought he improved. I like, not to say looking good. I don't know how many shots he's had in the games he's been at the 9, but it was 1 shot going into the first 2 games or something. So room for improvement, but I'd really like to see him and Rusnak link up and have that synergy together, because I feel like if we can get those dual playmakers, because the KKR goal against LAFC, that was a banger up front, and if we have Kent in the mix, De La Vega, Manungu, we have Rothrock, I think we're in a really good standing, plus him kind of filling in those spaces as a false 9. So I still think it's incredible that Sounders FC Dallas has him on as a 4th DP, but you need more out of your number 9, and he certainly wasn't up to par tonight, in my opinion, at least.
I felt like the second half, he just from that position, he's just able to use his creativity a lot more.
Yeah.
With him trying to play him as the 9, like you said, the synergy with Rusnak specifically is just not there right now.
Mm-hmm.
They have not figured out how to complement each other. So to me, in the second half, it looked like he was combining with the other guys a lot more effectively.
Yeah.
And he also was getting more looks for himself. And again, someone brought it up earlier, but because I know people are still negative about it, even though he looked better in the second half. But he played a part in the equalizer. He did.
Very true.
That equalizer doesn't happen without him making that play. So
yeah, I mean, he had 2 shots tonight. Neither of them were on goal, so that's our next step. We went from 0 shots period to 2 shots, and now maybe we can get 1 shot on goal. I don't know. Is that the ramp?
I think it's fair to call this progress, even if it's incremental.
I think
we got another caller in the lobby. So Noah, thank you very much for the call. Call in.
Shout out to my name brethren.
It was fun.
Shall do.
Shout out to all Noahs out there.
Peace, other Noah.
Thank you, man. Great call.
I'm gonna head out here, Ari. You got this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good to stick around and chat with people for let's see, it's at 43 minutes right now. I'll go for an hour tonight, and then
thanks for allowing me to join chat. We'll see you later.
Thanks for hopping on, Noah.
Yeah.
Adam on. We're gonna get Adam on here right now. Adam, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, and I'll add you to the stage. All right. Adam, welcome in. Look, I think you're a first-time caller.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give us your thoughts. How are you feeling after this 1-1 draw at San Jose?
Yeah, I would say that it's not a great result, but it's also not a horrible result. I think the way I see it is that they grew into the game. I saw which this seems like the first time that this happened in a long time, but San Jose was leaving a lot of guys high up the field. It seems like they were leaving like at least 2 players up there for a counterattack. And so I think they were kind of daring the Sounders to kind of, come on, take on a guy or make something happen instead of just playing kind of slow and methodical like it's happened a lot. Well, I think most teams kind of bunker with all 11 guys behind the ball, but it seems like they had to kind of get over the urge to play safe. And eventually, a crazy play happens, the ball comes to Rusnak, and he's able to put it in the back of the net to equalize.
What's your take on this Ferreira discussion? We've been doing a lot of Ferreira discourse tonight, and I think there's differing perspectives on him at the 9 versus him on the wing. Where do you fall on that after this game tonight?
I think that he hasn't looked great there. He looked pretty good on the wing, at least in my eyes. I think it would be good to give Musovski, as much as this isn't ideal, give him a kind of more consistent run at the 9, because maybe he just needs to get his confidence going. I know he's had plenty of chances to do that, but maybe you get 1 or 2, and next thing you know, he can stay there until Jordan gets back.
I don't think it's a coincidence that the offense actually runs better when he's playing that position. It's just that he can't finish right now, so that's what's getting the attention, understandably, because he's a striker and that's his job to score goals. But I do think there might be something to the idea that in the situation that they're at with the personnel, Moose at the 9, it might be prudence to keep running that, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he makes space when Jesus is there. He likes to drop deep, and that lets the center back step up. I think when Moose is there, he stretches the defense. There's more space for them to work in the half space, which seems like is where they like to operate. At least this year, I know. In years past, they were always trying to get the ball to the end line and cut it back, but they don't really have a target for that right now. So it looks like they're willing to keep it kind of like 10 yards outside the 18 in the half space and try and work an angle from there. That's kind of how I think Jesus played the ball in to Alex, and I think he decided to pass it instead of shooting. I think that might have been in the first half, or maybe it was in the second half, but I don't really remember. But I think that, yeah, he just creates space better than Jesus does, especially because he's not running into Albert when he drops back.
We got one caller in the queue, Adam, but before I let you go, how are you feeling about the Ryan Kent's acquisition appearing imminent? Have you dove into the YouTube highlights, and how are you feeling about him potentially joining the squad?
I'm excited. I have to be kind of temper the expectations, because I think it'll be a while until he actually gets into the squad, kind of like Kim Keehee. But I think a little bit more like someone who plays a little bit more risk, kind of like how Georgie plays. He's always going to go for it. He's always going to run at a defender. I think that would be good to have. This team is great, and I think we like them because they're nice, and it shows like they're nice people as well. But I think sometimes they don't have quite the aggression needed to win the games. They're close.
I've been saying that. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while now. Like they need more like bite and personality and like swagger. I feel like he might bring some of that kind of swagger and fire to the group. All right, Adam, thanks for calling in, man. Great call.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Got Hunch in the queue. He's got no video, so I'm just gonna bring him in and hope he can hear me. No thumbs up. Hunch Punch, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I got you. Thanks for calling in, and thanks for your support. I see you in chat all the time.
I have to say, man, I love what you and Noah are doing. I love the productions. I love this after match show. Highly supportive of what you guys have going on, and just really enjoy it in terms of just opening up perspectives. So just want to give you guys kudos for at least entertaining and providing platforms. So
appreciate
thank you for
that, man. How are you feeling after this result? 1-1 draw at
That's a great question, man. So like 3 years ago, I started to get like upset, irritated, Last year, I got a little bit like, what's going on? This year, I'm just, it's kind of like your parents, right? I'm just disappointed. Now, this result, a tie on the road in our first road goal, is impactful, and I'm glad for that. But this team is capable of more.
Yeah.
The parts are not achieving their sum. I'll say that. And it may be out of position play. It may be chemistry, which I think is part of it. But if you go back to looking at last year, we led the league in corner kicks, for example. But I think in run and play, we may have had one goal all season. If there's a play, a set piece that can be coached from a let's plan this out, let's have perspective, let's put people in the right position so we're not kicking the ball to a defender, so that the person taking the kick is presenting communication that allows for the people who are receiving the kick to be in position to receive it. And I don't mean short corners, but in general, we should be converting more than 1 in 100. And I don't see that carrying through to this year. So I'm a little concerned. We have some injuries. But I'm glad for the result tonight. And I just hope the chemistry works itself out. I guess that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, agree with all that. Where are you at on the Jesus Ferreira thing? We've been it's been a hot topic tonight. Where are you at on that?
I'm on board with him. I have seen him perform at high levels. I am optimistic. If it's a stock I'm investing, I don't think he's gelled where he needs to, and maybe it's a 4-4-2 where he needs to have someone beside him. But he really feels like a false nine type person, where he's got somebody else who's in front of him, but he's still playing up top, where he's not the one receiving the pressure from both center backs necessarily. There was commentary that like he did great on the wing, but that's because the defense kind of like relaxed on him, in my perspective. I think he can be deadly. I think he can get there, but I don't think we are providing service to him necessarily how he has anticipated, but also he's the tip of the spear right now, so he's getting the bulk of the defense.
Hunch, I got one more caller in the queue, but before I let you go here, give me your Ryan Kent take as well. We're collecting Ryan Kent takes.
Optimistic, but I'm not somebody who follows any kind of soccer outside of domestic US. And that's by virtue of wanting to support the domestic product. I don't want to be skewed by like what's out there. I hope he generates. What we need is chance creators. We need distributors. We need people who can recover the ball and get up from the middle third to the final third in that perspective. And if he can do that, connect to Georgie, connect to Jesus, even provide to Rusnak, who can provide to whoever our attacking players are. Like, I'm on board.
All right, Hunch Punch, great call, man. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. All right, Danny, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, I'm gonna read a couple super chats here first, and then I'm gonna bring you on. They're both they're both from my buddy Spencer. $2 for Ari. Is it true you dropped a Rebirth W today? Yeah, actually, it is. It is. All right. I'm gonna bring Danny on right now. Danny, how's it going? Thanks for calling in. How are you feeling after this 1-1 draw at San Jose?
So when are we gonna beat San Jose? That's my
Apparently never.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those teams that like even when they're bad, we play bad against them kind of thing.
Or they play well.
Yeah, I thought it was the first half was different definitely than the second half. That's obvious, but I don't know. It's one of those things like, are we going to get some points? Well, let's take away the idea that we didn't get any injuries. I feel like we've had injuries every time we go down there too. I feel like we're cursed a little bit. So, I mean, that's a positive. We get a point without an injury.
That is two things that have seldom happened this year: road results and no injuries. So definitely agreed on that. Yeah, like it did. The second half, I think, clearly looked a lot better than the first half. Do you think that was as simple as just the switch to put Moose in and move Ferreira? Was there anything more to it than that? How do you kind of see that dichotomy?
So, I mean, this is edging into like a Moose and a Ferreira take a little bit, right? But I love Moose, but he doesn't got it, man. For a third level, like if you're third on the depth for a striker, you know, I love Moose. We share the same name, so I love Danny. But like, man, you got to put some of those away. I mean, I play intramural soccer sometimes. It's objectively hard to put some of those sitters away. I'm not gonna lie. So, but these guys get paid to do it, once
Yeah.
again. So it's the difference between me and the professionals, right? There's a very big difference. But then Jesus, I would go with Jesus. I think the game changed when he got put in a more advantageous position, right? So I think that's why we were more forward, like on the front foot, is because he was able to roam. I think that's what I've been hearing on the show, like that's what you see. But I would say I like Jesus. I like him. But we got to have a second and a third string that actually put goals in, That's
That used to be a strength of this club, Chad Barrett, Kenny Cooper, Will Bruin.
Will Bruin. I mean, Will Bruin's one of my favorite like low key sounders too. I just like his personality. Like
he was a great guy, but he was also I think he was probably the last backup 9 on this team before the position got cursed, because it went from him right to Abear, I'm pretty sure, and then Abear to Moose. So it's honestly the curse of Will Bruin at this point.
Well, he was the last good one though, so I think it's the Bear curse.
Or I guess whatever lens you want to look at it through, but it is definitely I'm starting to believe. Isn't it weird how Abear and Moose, it's like the exact same thing?
Man,
exact same. There's no like it looks like the same player to me.
It's like Moose has got a little bit more physicality. We could start dissecting him a little bit, but it's just the way it presents in the team depth, like the way, like the amount of goals and stuff. Like I remember, oh man, so frustrating to watch a Bear like just drop some sitters.
It got comical at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Moose, I mean, they weren't the same sitters, I feel like, but it's still actually hard to manipulate your body in front of goal, even though you think they're sitters. I still like Nelson Valdez days, like that was a DP.
Yeah.
It was a flop of a DP, but he made the goal that was important against who is it?
Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City.
It is similar. He's the original cursed.
That's fair.
He was, like you said, he's a DP. He was brought in to be like one of the guys. Abear and Moose weren't, but
so, and at least he wasn't brought in to be the extra goals, but that's where Jesus comes into question, right? Because he is, right? He does wear the number 9. And that's the little get right there, I think. He wears number 9. He took it from Raul. Is he putting up any, like, I understand the team is designed around a Morris kind of striker, but you had to have a contingency plan of kind of understanding that your number 9 isn't going to be that fast all the time. Like if he does have to go in, like sit a game out, or I don't know, like, and so that's where it's like, okay, so what if we had to put Morris on the bench for half the game? Are we just not scoring goals? Is that the way it's going to be? Because that's
apparently.
I know, right? I don't know. That's the frustrating part. Is it felt like it felt more attacking and more pushing it in the second half, but still, it's kind of like, okay, it still lacked teeth, right? Until you just saw that dagger that Rosnak had, man, which was
a sick goal.
Yeah, that was a nice strike. So if you Yeah. Like I wish that was a game winner goal because that would have been talked about more.
It wasn't a game winner, but it was a morale booster.
Yeah, and you were
I felt
mentioning
my morale boost as I watched it go in.
and they're finding that they're trying to find that second goal, and it you know, like you felt it was going to drop, but man, yeah, that was a strike, and I think that was good for Rusnak and the team, and like you were saying, in large. But and you felt like the second was going to drop, just like the time ran out, kind of thing. But I've felt that way about this team for the last like 3 years. I felt like it's just like, come on, the offense, like do something, and then
Yeah, exactly. That's like I think everyone's kind of had that PTSD almost. So like that game was headed with towards that narrative, and they salvaged it like right at the end a little bit. I wouldn't say they're out of the woods on that yet, but they definitely, like I've been saying, it feels like they can at least kind of build on that. Danny, I got no one in the queue, so you're welcome to lay down a couple more takes. I've been asking everyone, so I got to ask you about your take on the Ryan Kent's imminent acquisition. How are you feeling about his potential addition to the squad?
if he can take the nice attacking winger with speed, I like, man. How much do we get him for? I'm curious. Obviously, I'm just
Free
curious.
transfer.
Well, free, yeah. So I mean, that's the Sounders, right? That's our game. That's the Sounders game.
Yeah.
Is like we only pay for transfers like, you know, like every decade or something or whatever it is. No, but I would say with the free transfer, we still, what is he gonna like? Is he gonna be the 600,000? I think that Areola was at, right, or something like that. I don't know. Was Areola right around 600 or?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head. They released those. I feel like they released those later in the year, and then you can really see everyone's. But
well, I mean, I think it's a good thing. There is some like a trepidation with the whole integration with different teams. Sure, there's negatives, but I think that's why you don't have them at a premium. And I think the Sounders do have a good track record for turning some players around. Hopefully this is the case. But, you know, I mean, what else do we have to lose in this case? Like, I think they're going to get a good money bargain kind of thing for this guy. I don't know anything about him, but from what I heard from, the Sounder at Heart articles and stuff like that, it sounds, that's where I'm getting most of my information, to be fair. And it sounds like this is going to be a good deal. And whether he can produce or not, I mean, like, we struggled to get one goal today. You know, like,
exactly. So that's like you lose nothing by giving it a shot.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And the place that he's going to take is probably, Paul Rothrock, which is unfortunate, but
Well, there'll be I think there'll be plenty of minutes to go around for all those guys, like
especially in the summertime when we start to hit another.
I'm not even looking at it like Rothrock or Georgie are going to be.
They're taking their spot. Sure, that's taking their
spot. Like I feel like it's really he's going to be sliding into the minutes that Areola was supposed to get, I think is the idea. But all right, last thing, and then I'm going to start wrapping up the stream here. But San Diego FC up next, coming off this draw at San Jose. Would you say you're feeling better about that game after how this game ended, or pretty much the same?
Oh man, that team looks good. So San Diego, but like, so my take on the defensive lapse that everyone's saying again, like against Alex, I don't like, dude. It got deflected. Yeah, there was it was a kind of a slop goal that we gave up today.
It's a bad giveaway, but
yeah, it was a bad giveaway. But like, it bounced out. It was a deflection. There was a guy coming in to intercept. So I think it was still like, I don't know. Yeah, there's some blame, but I would say it still was a slop kind of goal. It wasn't a good strike. I don't know. That's my take. I don't think it's necessarily you can point fingers at everyone, but people are going to make mistakes. Sure. I think with a high-end offense, with a decent defense, I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting matchup. I think I want to say it'll slow the game down for them, and hopefully the Sounders can play their game rather than San Diego playing theirs, if that makes any sense. Like they Sounders will control tempo and control the game, which will throw them off. Hopefully, ideally, Sounders will win that, but that's yet to be seen. So hopefully that's the idea, is control the ball, control the midfield, control, and then play our game kind of thing. But I that's what I hope. And that's the way the Sounders play MLS teams, right? Is a control kind of based game. So hopefully we can do it. Do I have faith? Am I confident after this? If we have at least one of the two that are out right now, I'll be more confident. But right now
you won't. So
yeah, exactly. With this team, I expect maybe a draw again, which is unfortunate. But
I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, I tend to think road draws in MLS are usually good results. And I'll talk my expectations in a bit here. But Danny, great call, man. Thank you for tapping in and laying down some takes. Appreciate you. And we got to get you back on here the next time we do one of these.
Yeah, take care.
All right. No more calls in the queue. I think I'm gonna wrap it up anyway. So no one else call in. But thank you to everyone who called in tonight. That was some great stuff. I really enjoy getting to I've been calling it the pulse of the streets, getting the pulse of the streets, seeing how you guys are all feeling. So if anything, I encourage more of you to hit our link and call in. But for now, I'm gonna wrap it right there. But I'll hang around for a few more minutes and take a couple more questions if you guys got any or topics that you want me to hit. But first, I do have to do what I always do at this time and put on the lo-fi, but at a nice quiet level. If you haven't done so yet, please like the video. That is of paramount importance. If this video doesn't get 50 likes, I'm gonna crash out Chris. No one wants me to crash out. So like the video. If you're watching this and you somehow haven't subbed to the channel, you should do that and turn on notifications. Turn on the bell that lets you know when we go live. Never miss a stream. But mostly like the video and follow us on Instagram if you haven't. Our Instagram's been popping by our standards, so you definitely want to go follow that. But yeah, as I wrap it up here, go ahead and drop your final questions, topics, thoughts, observations, and agendas in chat. Hunch Punch, who called in tonight, thanks for the call, Hunch Punch. He said, yes, let's talk San Diego. What are the expectations? Expectations. Like this team, when you're playing a good team on the road, which this team appears to be good. I don't know if they're actually good, but they seem good. And I think they might actually be good. So when you're playing a good team on the road, Western Conference road game, I'm typically good with a draw. Obviously, you want to try and win. It's not saying that like the draw should be what you're going for, but in these circumstances with these injuries and this team being pretty good, if they 1-1'd it or 2-2'd it, I wouldn't be super aggrieved at that. But I do think like they're playing a lot on the road these next 7-8 games. So it's not like you can't draw all of them. They won 8 games on the road last year. You have to win to make the playoffs and realistically be a factor for contention and trophies. You do have to win some of your road games. So this would be a great one to pick off because this team's kind of flying high. They're feeling good. They are the new kids on the block, and they've kind of been balling out. They just beat LAFC, so they got this. That's a pretty big, like, emotional California rivalry win for them, right? So they're going to be feeling themselves, and it's a chance to take them down a peg is what it is. You know, whenever you're playing an expansion side, which there's usually at least one every year in this league, you got to welcome them to the league. You got to let them know who runs the Western Conference. And also, games against California teams always kind of carry special meaning for me because, I don't know, I just like beating California. Like that's why my favorite wins are every time they go to LAFC and beat LAFC in LA in the playoffs. It's just phenomenal. It's great. Those are great. That's why, like, when people talk about how horrible last season was, I'm like, I don't know. I thought that was the sickest win they've had in years. I get that it wasn't the most exciting season of all time, but that LAFC playoff win was awesome. Means we need to win at home if we accept away draws. Well, there's absolutely no question that the home form, I mean, we've been saying for years that the home form needs to get better. They have been dropping, really for the last like 3 years, I would say they've been dropping too many points at home. So, but like, yeah, win at home, draw on the road is typically the formula for success in MLS. It's not win at home, draw on the road. It's win at home and accrue as many results, be it wins or draws on the road, as it is possible, given the travel demands in this league and the salary cap making it even harder league to travel in than it already is because of the depth of squads. It's a hard league to win on the road, man. There's a reason that every single year, if you look at the splits, most teams have like a good home record and a trash road record. The teams that are elite in this league are the teams that know how to win on the road. That's one thing that Seattle has been very proficient at, especially in the Schmetzer era, is they've been a very good road team. I mean, even last year, for as tough as last year was at times, they did win 8 road games, which is hard to do. But the good teams and the elite teams in this league can do that. They can actually put up respectable records on the road. It's actually a good way to tell who is fraudulent. If you see a team that has a lot of points early in the season, but all of their results are at home and they're tanking on the road, that's one way that I assess fraud watch. I will tell you guys, is I look at the home away splits. And if you're only racking your points at home and you can't win on the road, I'm like, that's a classic MLS fraudulent team. It is. The real teams know how to win on the road. Formula Meme says, I feel like a lot of people would be happier if this team played counterattacking soccer like LAFC because fans don't seem to perceive defense as boring. Compared to what they are doing right now. Yeah, I feel like during the times where this team has played good offense over the last couple years, they've been good. And I think of the Sounders as a team that can get out on the counter and be lethal in transition when their attack is actually operating at its at a high level, which it's not right now. But like the Seattle Sounders, when they're functioning at their best, are like hyper technical and really good in possession and can slice and dice you like that. But then also when they have their opportunities in transition, they can get out and run and they can execute. That's what this team is like supposed to look like. I think at its core, this team is supposed to have that in their bag. That maybe not be a counterattacking team based around that in the way that in LAFC or like Portland, like they don't play like that. But good transition play is something that's been in their bag and really it's going to need to be I think in their bag more effectively than it is right now. I think that's part of the issue right now, and why they've been XG merchanting is that like they're having good sequences in transition or just in general, and like I feel like the past 2 games the chance generation's been pretty good. It's been where it needs to be to score at least a couple goals. They just aren't finishing them. Which, yes, your starting striker is hurt, but you did trade for a guy from FC Dallas who's good at scoring goals. So you can have both a good defense and a good offense. It's true. It's true. That's what they need to get to. 26 shots need to produce more than 1 goal. Yes, that is. I think if we were doing positives and negatives, we talked about some of the positives. Obviously, the Rusnak getting the goal, getting the point. So a little bit of a morale booster, that's a positive. But if you're doing the negatives, the fact that 26 shots only resulted in 1 goal, you would ideally, if you take 26, that's a big number. Ideally, if you take 26 shots, you want to get 2 goals or 3 goals, maybe even 4 goals with that many shots. All right, I'm going to wrap it up right there. It's getting late. Thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in to another post-game live. These are a lot of fun. Like I said, they're on the road a lot the next few weeks, and so these are a lot easier for us to do for road games than they are for the home games. So anytime there's a road game, we'll definitely try and do these. It's a lot of fun taking calls. Again, appreciate everyone who called in tonight. That was some really good stuff. Got some good discussions going. Again, I just shilled it, but like the video, sub to the channel, like, comment, subscribe on all our platforms. And we'll be back at it. I got Lobbing Scorchers kickoff 8 o'clock. I always say 8:30. 8 a.m. on Monday with Nico Moreno. If you haven't been tuning into those, it's a great way to start the week. You know, you just fire up your coffee, fire up Lobbing Scorchers, and get ready to take on the week. So definitely tune into that. We'll be on Ryan Kent Watch for sure. Then podcast Tuesday, streaming Thursday. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going all season. So don't worry. The content will keep flowing. All right. I'm going to get out of here on that. Have a good night, guys. Appreciate you.
The Seattle Sounders brand new 2025 kit is here. Inspired by 2 traditional Southern Coast Salish weaving techniques, twilling and twinning. These techniques, passed down through generations, honor the resilience, deep-rooted ties, and creativity that define the cultural fabric of this region. The striking deep blue jersey will be worn by the Sounders for the next 2 seasons to honor the club's deep connection with the Puget Sound and shared responsibility as stewards of the Greater Salish Sea watershed. Backing up that commitment, the Seattle Sounders will donate up to $50,000 to benefit community charities around the Puget Sound region. To get your very own Salish Sea kit, visit lobbingscorchers.com/kit. That's lobbingscorchers.com/KIT.